Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing? I just watched something that disturbed me a little bit. The Lord really pointed it out to me, so I figured I'd share it. You know, we have people living in tents all over the United States. Florida, California. It's not too bad for the people that are in the warm states, but they're still in tents. No place to really go to the bathroom. Little food. Sad, isn't it? Well, I like to put a challenge out there to all these prosperity preachers that are out there. The ones that keep saying the more you give, the more you get in return. Well, how about taking some of these people, or all of these people, that are in these tent cities and giving them a hand? $70 million. Some of you have, or more. $25,000 Rolex watches, Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Lear jets. All this good stuff. To go from place to place. You know what Jesus did? He walked. He walked everywhere he went. Took a wooden boat across the lake. No luxury liner for him. No stretch camel for him to ride on. He walked. You know, here's a verse in the Bible here I'd like to share with you. Psalm 41, verse 1. Oh, the joys of those who are kind to the poor. The Lord rescues them when they are in trouble. Well, don't we have people in trouble? You know, you preach to the people that don't have no money, the more they give, the more they'll get. Well, I challenge all you people with the big money. Why don't you give more and see how much more you'll get back? I'm pretty sure there's believers out there in them crowds of people that don't have nothing. I'm pretty sure that through helping these people, you bring people to the Lord, which really should be going on. It's prosperity preaching. It's helping the preachers. It's not helping the poor. Watch the video clip that I have coming up, please. God bless you. And I'll be back.
That's right, David. And if you haven't seen this story yet this morning, you need to stop what you're doing and take a look. The images will stun you. Up to 50 people are reportedly showing up to the tent city each week. Many of them have lost their jobs and consequently their homes. NBC's Michael Oku joins me now live from Burbank. Michael, you know, a lot of people commenting on this on Twitter to us this morning. Jane Coe wrote that she saw this morning. She said it's very sad and an upsetting state of this country's affairs. I know a lot of people who are going to watch your report right now are going to be surprised by what they see and hear.
Oh, they're certainly going to be surprised if they haven't seen these images before, Monica. I mean, it is awfully bad, and there's no sign that it's getting better anytime soon. And there's a terrible irony in all of this. About a century and a half ago, this area around Sacramento was basically the center of the gold rush. Prospectors pitching their tents along the banks of the American River in order to strike it rich. And today what we see is regular Americans pitching their tents, sometimes in the shadows of downtown Sacramento's skyscrapers, in the hopes of of basically buying more time, or simply because they just don't have any other choice. The shelters in and around the town are absolutely overflowing with people. We understand from authorities that there's some 1,500 or so people living in these 10 cities, and as you mentioned, with 50 newcomers joining them essentially every single week. The images, as we look at this, people making their lunch or their dinners, are absolutely striking. What you're seeing, for the most part, are regular middle-class Americans, many of them who had lived from paycheck to paycheck, down on their luck when they lost their job and then their car and then their home, a pattern that we have seen repeated across the country. And many of them now living in these shanty towns that are reminiscent, as you can imagine, of what we saw, at least the images we saw from the Great Depression. NBC was able to talk to some of these folks who were living without any electricity, no running water. A bottle of water for many of these people is about a mile and a half by walking at the local convenience store or at the gas station. And many of these folks worked in the construction business. They're tile setters or truck drivers. And as you know, that business has completely dried up. So with 1 in 10 out of every Californian out of work right now, and the foreclosure rate still skyrocketing, you have to wonder how many more people are going to make the decision that they're going to have to resort to living in conditions like this, Monica.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, startling images, but important to see. Michael Opu, thank you so much. And
what we're being told, of course, is that these are the same kinds of images that we saw during the Great Depression. People basically living in these tent cities, these shanty towns with no electricity and no running water.
It's pretty devastating to suddenly move into a tent, and you have to learn a lot of new things. It's kind of like being in the frontier days, you know, everything is...
The clip was something, wasn't it? More and more poor are pouring into these places. Doubt it very much the government's going to do anything to help. So like I said, I put this challenge out there to all them prosperity preachers. Sort of put your money where your mouth is. A couple of you sold them jets. Got over $1 million for them. You realize how many poor people you could help? That would be doing God's work. Not sitting up there on TV and telling everybody how much to give and how much they're going to get in return. I seen part of that. I was a part of that prosperity stuff at one time. My eyes were opened. The Lord gives me what I need, and that's all I need, and that's all I want. Just help. Just help. Let's see if I see anything in the news or anything in the papers in the coming weeks. Like I said, this is to all them prosperity preachers out there. You said the more that you give, the more you'll receive. Let's see how many you give. God bless to all, and all have a nice day. Bye-bye.